Salom Bacha. Salom Bacha. Welcome to the stream of... Welcome to the Monday live stream of Las Plumas de Shimur. My name is Plumas and I am in awe. I welcome you today to my... Oh my god, I know, I'm speechless. It's amazing because now I can see how everything's looking. So for example, I can see things in the chat. So I'm gonna move the chat out there because I put everything offline, but I know, welcome to the new setting of Las Plumas de Simur. Welcome to this new overlay. And in fact, it was not time, it was, I promise, but I promise to you, what's up my weapon? What's up your weapon? ¿Qué pasa? Like, details, I know. The tea. Sorry, my dyslexia. The tea. I can't. I seriously can't. Oh my god. I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you all about it in just 1 minute, I promise. I'm just gonna move a wee bit the chat box. I know, it's just, so much for me. I'm so happy. I cannot emphasize how happy I am at this very instant and moment. And it's just, yeah, I'm very happy, actually. Sorry, I'm just taking care of things behind the scenes for a moment, but I need you, Richard, to keep on talking a wee bit. Could you do that for me? So we can see how big or how little we want our screen. Alright, you see, these are the kind of things, I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. These are the kind of things I kind of do by myself. Alright, that should be it. So, yeah, I fixed the chat box for it. So, Salom, yeah, that's much. Oh, that's perfect. Look, come on. I want a round of messages so we can fill the chat box. Oh my god, this is like so pretty. Everything looks so pretty. I haven't done this. I'm gonna tell you all about it right now. Oh my god, look at Gilgamesh. He's never looked so cool. He's never looked better. Oh my god. Salam Simorjun Azizam. I'm gonna try and start again. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm just staring at the screen. This is just amazing. This is a dream. Oh my god, everything's so cool. Alright, so I'm so excited. Now I do look like a professional streamer. Oh my god, look, if I'm nervous, my neck is entirely red. That happens when I'm anxious. Is it positive anxious though? Is like a good feeling of anxiety, if that's ever the case? But yeah, Salom Bacha, welcome to the Monday stream of Las Plumas de Simur. Hello mate, how are you? And welcome to the new aspect, to the new overlay of Las Plumas. Hi Clara, it's nice to see you. Hello No Soy Ros, hello Verities, hello Frisbee Gorbe, Aziz Deman, hello Elena. I think I'm not forgetting anyone. Hello ¿Qué pasa? Yeah, so this is magic. So this is what Patreon is for, and this is how I just cannot express how grateful I am for my patrons, because this is I have so many things to say and no order whatsoever, because why would you make a stream or list of things? I haven't done it because I've been working the entire day, so you can bear with. So alright, so a couple of months ago I knew I wanted to improve and upgrade this streaming channel, as I was going to stream more often and to take this streaming job, quote unquote, more seriously. And for that I knew I needed a brand, I needed a personalized setup, and I knew I couldn't do it myself because I'm not an artist. And something I really enjoy doing is paying artists for their job. I know, crazy, but I do love that. Hello Pichur, welcome to the room. What do you think? What do you think about it? This is so pretty. Oh my god! So I'm gonna keep it going. So I mentioned her in another live stream, I think, but one of my friends, one of my streaming friends, her name is Nancy, and she had at that moment, I think it was either November or December, she had her whole overlays done, like specifically done from scratch by a professional artist, and I loved them so much. So I asked her to pass me the details, and this beauty that you see in here, everything is by the hands of Chi Nguyen, which is a Canadian artist, a Canadian-based artist, and I've been working with her for the past month and something, and I cannot recommend her enough to you. I would post all the links and everything on my social media once this finished, because this is just amazing. And working with a professional artist, she's dedicated to this heart and soul, and it's just you see the difference of just trying to. Do not get me wrong, I value people that can create something, but if I had to do this myself, the result wouldn't have been this good. So I went on Patreon and I asked my patrons for their support. I've been asking people to join my Patreon page so we can afford this, and I could afford it, and this is what the money of Patreon is going from. Thank you so much, my patrons. You make my day and you make my life as a streamer go around. I am really grateful for all of you. I'm very, very grateful for all of you. And this is the result. After some, to be fair, she knew exactly what I needed from minute one. I just gave her some rough details of what this channel was about. She did her own research based on what I said to her. And then when I mentioned, by God, when I mentioned to her that tea was a big part of my stream, she put this one and the glasses over here, and on the chat box it's just, hello Tabir, welcome, it's nice to see you. So she just knew feathers and tea, and then she and I were exchanging pictures of buildings or on Esfahan and all the Safavid classical architecture buildings. Hello Typhoon, what do you think? I mean, Typhoon already knew because she's my patron, but yeah, this is the final result, and I'm just like, oh, the palace worthy of being in the background of Super Punk. In it, I'm just very happy and very pleased that I could afford a professional to do this, and I'm sure if the time comes, because I know it's so pretty and it moves. I mean, not this one, but the streaming screens, they do move. So you'll see them later if you haven't. So yeah, everything is designed from scratch. Everything is designed co-working, because I'm working with another artist, which is Lucía. She made my logo and she made every single thumbnail for my videos. So the screen overlay, yes, I'm talking about the screen overlay, yes. I love it. Oh, these are just a picture of the galaxy. Like, it's just yeah. It is new, yeah, it is new. In fact, because Tabir, you come from Nancy's channel, don't you? The person who made this is the same person who made this entire overlay. It's the same person who did Nancy's. So yeah, I'm very happy. I cannot recommend Chi enough. So yeah, this is what we are gonna look like from now on. I am very excited, and of course there's like it's similar style, yeah, because it's the same artist. I'm very, very happy. And we have all the elements we could ever need. We have the tea over here, we have the feathers going around on the sky, we have the mosque, and then we have the sky, the clouds in the horizon. Everything's so pretty. Oh. Aww. The galaxy with our brightest star, shiniest jewel in this Paris treasure chest. That is what Nosotros is to me. He's also my patron. So yeah, this is what supporting your creators does. Thanks to your subscriptions and thanks to your support on Patreon, these could be achieved. So these wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. So you take the piece of credit you own, but child, because yeah, little feathers. I know. Just look at these one. Look. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you all of them, because we have to. Like, just look for when we watch films and when I'm talking about stuff, and we can just project our big images which right over there, and it's just, oh my goodness gracious, it's just amazing. I am in awe. I know, it's very pretty. Everything's so pretty. Oh, I know. I know. Now we can watch films together. Now we can maybe play video games. Pichu, we're working on that because some of you wanted me to play, like, watch me play video games or something. So, hello, Nightingale. What do you think? What do you think? I know. And then I'm gonna show you the starting screen because some of you didn't watch it. Look at this. Look at this. It moves. I know. And we have another one. Check this one out. And we have a closing one, but the closing one you will see once we're finished. Oh my goodness gracious, I'm just like, oh, is that steam from the tea on the side? And yes, it is. Yes, it is steam from the side. I was like, God, I seriously can't. I was just, oh. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not joking with this. When I told Chi, the artist, again, that tea played a major role on my brand and at my stream, she immediately got it, and I even asked her to design one of these cute teapots. So this is like more Ottoman slash Northern African style of teapot. Although I've seen things like that in Russia and I've seen things like that in Iran too, but I knew tea had to be present somewhere. So yeah, feathers, tea, mosques, yes. So thank you so much, patrons. Thank you so much. I am very happy. I am very happy. It's just I cannot think straight. This is a dream. I'm not even exaggerating. So you had to absolutely leave me the messages. A little Galvanda saying people liked being alive, for example. That is actually a very smart idea. I might ask Chi so we can have, I don't know, something like here or up here or up there or like just behind the mosque or something. So yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the new setup of Las Plumas de Simón. I hope you like it, which by the way, thank you so much. I will send all your messages to Chi because all credit goes to her. She's been amazing. She's been a delight working with, and yeah, hopefully I will do that again. That will happen. I don't know what I could possibly come up with to design, but definitely I'm gonna call her again because again, she's the best. She is the best, and I cannot recommend her enough. So if even every single time you can afford it, please do reach professional artists and professional in general for any kind of job you may need. I can tell you the difference will show, and you were very happy about that. Oh, look at you there. This is you with a T. Oh my god, I have a Tetris song in my mind on infinite loop. Why? Thank you so much for the subscription, Nightingale. Oh my god, thank you so much. 3 months? No, 6 months. Half a year. But child, we need to come up with something. We need to come up every single time every single one of you reaches, I don't know, that 9 months here. That would mean that's like a birth. That's a whole cycle of a birth. So you will be born here as, I don't know, a tiny pelican chick. Ooh, we love pelicans. So yeah, you will be blessed upon the holiest pelican authorities. Thank you so much, Nightingale, for your subscription. You the cutest, Bonica. So what went? I actually resubscribed yesterday, but my credit card expired. Oops. Happens. So, apart from me drooling over my new overlay, I love Chi. I don't know if you're going to watch this, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to copy right now. Wait, I'm going to look for them because I have head details here. I'm going to copy the details from T, so you can find her on Instagram and you can find her on Twitter, and I do recommend you to do that, like 100, 200, 300%. Where is it? I have so many information here. Alright, so there we go. Almost there. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna just copy it. Has a big bug? Where's Bob's window? Bob's not gonna show up on the live stream, not yet, and it's gonna be right back, refill my tea. Just go for it. So, these over here are all the details. You can find my beautiful artist as Shinny165 on Twitter and on Instagram. And I do recommend you just go, you follow her and just say that you loved it. Because you know what? Artists actually enjoy quite a lot. People being kind and supportive with their art. So if you go, just message her, just post it with like, hey, I loved your Plumas Simul overlay on Twitch, or I really like what you did with the animations or something. She's gonna love it so much because, you know, it's, if we can say something nice to somebody, why wouldn't we? Curious. And that's all the chit chat we're gonna have today. Oh my goodness. Oh, everything's so pretty. I'm just, alright, okay. So today we are going to resume our reading of the Book of Kings of the Shāh-nāmeh. You have no flipping idea what I'm talking about. This is one of the masterpieces, the masterpiece, if you ask me, by Abul Qasim Ferdowsi of Iranian literature. And we actually did a recap 2 weeks ago. So in case you were not there, I do strongly recommend you to follow it in case you want to follow the reading. And yeah, we stopped because we did like a quick overview about everything we've covered so far. So today we're going to continue from the moment. Do you remember Salm and Tur? Salm and Tur were the brothers of Irash, and the three together were the sons of Fereydun, of King Fereydun. And Irash was granted the throne of Iran, and that means the throne of the world. I have to go, see you on Thursday. I need to simulate Miss Beauty. Okay, Pichu, see you on Thursday. Thank you so much for popping by, and have a good afternoon yourself. Yeah, Salm and Tur killed Iraj in an attempt to take the throne of the world from him. And then something happened, and that is that Irash's grandson was born. His name is Manusher, and I know, poor Irash. That scene breaks my heart every single time. Doesn't matter how many times I've read it, and I've read it quite a few times. So now we're gonna read the big conflict, because you know the drums are calling. Corsi, thank you so much for your subscription. Oh my goodness, thank you. It's even worse when Fereydun sees his severed head. I know, the moment they bring the head to Fereydun in that coffin. Oh, goodness gracious me. Like, no, awful. So here, yeah, I mean, Manusher is now a grown-up, and like, it's usual in the Shāh-nāmeh, he seeks vengeance. So basically, the armies of Fereydun and Manusher are gonna march against the Salm and Tur armies, and it's going to be a major clash. It is an Iranian story. Indeed it is, because this streaming channel is dedicated to Iran and Mesopotamia, so yeah, this is Iranian literature. So, remember, I'm reading the translation by Dick Davis, published in 2006 and edited by Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition, this one. Don't know if that means anything, but I have the, oh, sorry, Zerafe. Oh, by the way, Frisbee Gorbe, my mic, its name is Zerafe. I guess you can know why. So yeah, we are gonna continue reading the moment when Salm and Tur, not Salm, march against Fereydun. Are you ready? Do you have your tea with you? Because I do have my tea. And yes, this is from the original museum in London. Sun Wise Gamgee. Hello, Kiwi. I was missing you. What do you think? Vengeance and tea. That's basically what the Shāh-nāmeh is about. And dragons. Because everything's better with dragons. Am I right, Noceros? Fereydun received news that their forces of Salm and Tur were nearing Persia and ordered Manusher to lead his army out to the plain. He said, "A young man of good fortune wins the day by patience, wisdom, will entrap his prey. He lets the leopard follow him to where he has already laid his cunning snare. So basically he's advising his great-grandson to be patient and cautious and wise, because if we know something about Feridun, he's a very wise man. Manusher replied, "Great king, remember at this point Manusher is not king yet. Feridun is king of Iran. He holds the throne of Iran, and that means in this poem holding the throne of the world. Great king," this is Manusher speaking, "fortune has frowned on whoever opposes you with hatred in his heart, and his body and soul will soon be severed from one another. I have bound on my armor for battle, and shall not loosen its knots until the battlefield's dust has obscured the sun." Powerful image, by the way. How old is this kid again? He's like 17 or something? Frisbee Gorbe. How old is Manusher when this is happening? Like 16, 17? I don't know. Talk about boldness. I was not this bold when I was 16. I have contempt for all their warriors. How can they dare to fight against me? This is going to be a massacre. I was guessing late teens, early 20s. Even so, I mean, this is too... I mean, he's going to be king of the world, so no wonder. He ordered Karen to lead their troops. Karen is one of the commanders, so there's a lot of people in this book. Don't worry if you get lost in a bit. It's a lot for a kid, I know. The king's pavilion was pitched on the plain, with the royal banner fluttering in front. The warriors advanced in companies, and the plains and mountains were like heaving waves of the sea. The dust obscured the sun and darkened the bright day. There's a lot of people here. There's going to be a major clash. There's going to be a bloodshed. Deafening war cries went up from every side. The Arab horses neighed and the war drums resounded. Remember, Arab horses are considered very high quality horses, and almost every prince and every king have a handful of them. The very signaling a horse as Arab is a way of signaling how important the breed is, how expensive it was, how high its value is. So yeah, in case you hear me saying all this. For those who didn't watch the loss, I know. It was, to be fair, Ferdowsi died 200 years before the Mongols came, so I don't know if he possibly knew about horses from the steppe of Eurasia, but we'll cut him some slack. For 2 miles, elephants were drawn up before the camp. 60 of them bore golden howdahs studded with jewels. 300 were loaded with baggage. 300 were covered in iron armor with only their eyes visible. War elephants covered in lamella armor. This is very interesting because this is giving us, of course, this is an idealized battle. So possibly, only very powerful armies would look like this. But it's giving us a very detailed description on how the elite warriors look like in this period. So yeah, tank elephants, exactly, like the Mumakil in The Lord of the Rings, but covered, not that big though, but you know, war elephants covered in armor. The image though. The king's tent was struck and the army marched out from Tamise. This is a place. 300,000 armed cavalry led by the warlike Karen, each of them like a raging lion and eager to avenge the death of Iraj. Remember, people are mad. People are very resentful because Iraj was killed. Iraj is one of these characters everyone loved, and San and Tur didn't achieve their smartest. No, it was not killing Iraj was not a smart idea. Not at all. Followed by of course, when they get mad, they send their warrior called Karen. Yeah, Manusher, let me speak to your manager, لطفاً. ببخشید, let me speak to your manager, لطفاً. Manusher and Karen emerged from the forest of Narvan to lead the army onto the open plain. The prince placed Karshasp in command of the left flank. Sam and Qobad had charge of the right. This is all people. These are the generals and commanders of Feridun. Because remember, the army is Feridun's, but the leader is Manusher. So yeah, You go, little kid. Karen and Sam drew the swords from the scabbards. Kobad led the advanced troops, and men from the clan of Taliman lay hidden to ambush the enemy. The army with its lion warriors and resounding drums was as splendid as a bride in all her finery. What an image, though, to compare an army with a bride in all her finery or finery. Finery, sorry. I mean, is that actually the comparison you want to... I know. So the army was splendid, period. Sometimes Ferdowsi is funny. Sam and Tur learned that an army intent on revenge was preparing for war. The two brothers led their troops out among the trees, and the blood from their livers appeared as foam on their lips. So, why is it saying the blood from their livers? And right, so in this moment, Iranian medieval medicine is powerfully based in the theory of the different humors we have in the body by Galen, the Greek doctor. So there's these are very quick and not at all a complete summary of this, but basically in the body we have a number of humors and they have to be in balance for us to be healthy. If one of them is unbalanced or occupies a greater part than the others do, we fall sick. And either they move from one place to the other, if they move from the place they were supposed to be to another organ or to another part of the body, we get sick too. So basically these people are sick with terror. Humors are also ascribed maladies like fear, melancholy, sadness, even hysteria and exaggerated laughter. All of these are attached to the humors too. I could speak about the theory of Galen at some point because it was very important for Ibn Sina as well. You let me know what you want. Alright, the murderers, because remember Salman Tur have murdered Iraj, you're welcome, advanced their troops, their minds filled with hatred. The very important quality about Sam and Tur is that at this point they cannot be redeemed. They murdered Iraj, they broke his father's heart because they murdered Iraj in cold blood. Remember, Iraj was begging not to be killed and he was giving up everything he had for them to spare his life, and they didn't. Oh, that scene. And then when Manusher was born, they tried to murder the kid as well by tricking Fereydun into sending them Manusher and all that jazz. And, out of good heart, because Fereydun is a very good person, out of good heart, Fereydun tried to make them regret what they did and to feel repentant, but they didn't. So, not regret, they're just upset that they can't get away with it. Exactly, that's the reason, yeah. Behind them lay the sea and the territory of the Alans. So that means we are fighting in the part that's on the other side of the Caspian Sea. Qobad came forward to spy out the land, and when Tur heard of this, he rushed forward like the wind and said to him, "Go back to Manushehr and say, and how and who bestowed you this armor and this sword to you? You have no father." Tur, dude, he has no father because you killed him. You have no father. From Irash's race, a girl was born. So who gave you the mace that signifies, oh, thank you, Johnny Sins 6969, thank you for follow. A girl was born, so who gave you the mace that signifies royal sovereignty, young king? Who gave you this authority? So basically, this is what happened. As much as I love this book, because I do love the Book of Kings, indeed, as much as I love it, this book was written in the 11th century, and let's be clear here, it is misogynistic. It's not misogynistic itself, it's just that women they had a very different consideration at that time, very different, and royalty and royal lineage did not pass on to the characters through the mother. It had to be the father. And the point is that, Iraj was killed, and Iraj just had a daughter. He had a daughter, and that daughter had Manushehr. So for Salman Tur, that's not enough legitimization, and the mace, he's bearing the mace of Fereydun, the ox mace, and the mace that has the top shaped like an ox, and according to Tur, he's trying to provoke kind of taunt Manusher by making him angry and saying, like, you have no right to rule, you have no right to wear the armor. Cheap trash talk from a coward, exactly. Oh, I love when Frisbee Gorbe is here. She loves this book as much as I do. So Gobat, that is a very, experienced person with these things, he says, don't worry, I'll take your message exactly as you've said it. But if you reflected on this long and wisely, you'd know this is a terrifying business you've embarked on, and you'd be afraid to say these foolish words on yours. A coward! Don't be surprised if the wild animals weep for you day and night, because from the forest of Narvan to China, the land is filled with our horsemen and warriors, flourishing the swords when they see the Kabyani banner. Remember, the Kabyani banner receives its name from Kabe, one of the best characters ever created. Your heart and brain will split with terror when you see all of them, and you will not know the peaks of this land from its valleys. Qobad it's a pal. He's a laddie that I like. It's just, yeah. He's a little laddie that I like. Qobad went to the king and told him what he had heard from Tur. Manusher laughed. I love Manusher because it's like, all this trash that Tur was talking about, about him not having a father and his mother not being enough and blah, blah, blah. It's like he laughs it off. He, like Taylor Swift, he shakes it off because he knows it's nonsense and a very big pile of bull. So, Manusher says, no one but a fool would say such things. Thanks be to the God of this world and the next, who knows what is plain and what is hidden, and who is aware that Iraj is my grandfather and that the great Fereydun is my witness in this. When I fight, my lineage will be plain enough. I swear by the might of the God of the sun and the moon that I will not let Tur rule for long. In the blinking of an eye, I shall display his severed head before the army. I shall have my revenge for Iraj's death, and trample Tur's reign beneath my feet. I love Manusher. I mean, truth be told, I do not love Manusher as much as I love Fereydun, but Manusher is a good continuation of the lineage. He's a good lad. A good lad, yeah. So, basically, Manusher is fearless. And very important thing, because you've seen that he mentioned the god of this world and the next one, yeah. Manusher is Iraj with a little more spice. With a lot of spice, I reckon, because Iraj, I mean, no hate on Iraj, but he was not like his son, I mean, at all. You know what I mean? I don't know, I'm not gonna speak of that. But yeah, Manusher was mentioning God quite a few times, and he was saying that all praise the God, and God has the ultimate knowledge of everything. And this is because there's a main difference. The poem tells you how to separate friend from foe, and righteous people from wicked people. One of the features of righteous people is that they are believers, and they remember that after all, at the end of the day, God is what's above absolutely everything, especially regarding this earthly existence, because we suppose this is a book that was written in a Muslim environment, and we are supposed to depart this earthly existence into our heavenly existence. So this is why we should lay all our trust and everything in God. And this is one of the lessons the book wants to tell us. So yeah, Manusher, it's just like he knows the victory is with him. He's pretty tranquil about his lineage, and he knows he's a descendant of Iraj. So yeah, all good in the hood with the boy. So then, Manusher gave orders that the tables be made ready for a feast. Because we do have time for snack. This is such an Iranian thing. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter the rush. There is always time to eat. I do mean this. If you've been in Iran, you know exactly what I mean. You're not going to go absolutely anywhere on an empty stomach. It's like, no. The Iranian self cannot allow that to happen. See? She's Iranian. She knows what we're talking about. So, yeah. And the place be set aside for wine and music. So he's just organizing a little shenanigan. You had an Iranian patient. Oh yeah, you could ask them about food. It's a big thing. I gained a few kilograms those weeks. Gorgeous food though. Amazing food, by the way. Stay tuned to know a little bit more about Iranian food. Am I right? So yeah, I do believe that too. So basically, yeah, he's holding a little fist. Thank you, Clara. See you soon. Thank you for coming by. And as darkness fell, in the shenanigan we're having, he sent out sentries onto the plain. Because, yeah, we have the Bazm and we have the Razm, which are the feast, but also the combat. These are the two concepts princes should master in order to accomplish, well, where they were intended to. So, yeah, you have Bazm and Razm at the same time. The feast and the battle. Amazing. So Qaren stood before the troops with Sarv, the king of Yemen. Do you remember the king of Yemen? The king of Yemen that tried to kill Iraj and Sam and Tur, but then he knew that he couldn't using magic. So yeah, there's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack here. But basically, the king of Yemen, exactly, the bad father-in-law. Yeah. Yes, it's the same king of Yemen. Yeah. So cool, you remember it. And Qaren is gonna say, my man is really old, man. He's old. He's quite old right now. Yeah. Anyway, aging doesn't apply to every single person in the Shāh-nāmeh equally, I have to say. So yeah, people age at a very different paces. So yeah, Qaren told the troops, nobles and lions loyal to the king, know that this is a war against Ahriman. Ahriman is a dark spirit. This is a war against evil itself. Keep yourselves ready and live in the knowledge of God's protection. Whoever is killed in this battle will be received into paradise, and his sins will be washed away. Whoever spills the blood of these warriors from China and the West and seizes their territory, his name will live forever, and he will earn the glorious praise of our priests. He's saying China and the West because those are the provinces that Sam and Tur reign upon. He will be given a diadem and throne from our king, who is the Lord of strength and the dispenser of justice. When day dawns and 2 watches of the morning have passed, prepare to fight. Ready your maces and Kabuli daggers. So now we know the daggers come from Kabul. Keep to your ranks and see that none advances his feet before the others. So basically, keep in line. Everything has to be carefully timed and carefully organized. The commanders ranged themselves before the king and said with one voice, we are your slaves and we live in this world only for the king. Whatever he orders we shall do immediately. For him we shall turn this plain to an Oxus of blood. The Oxus is a river. An Oxus of blood is a river of blood. So you know what's coming. Then, alright Elena, thank you for coming by. Have a wonderful evening yourself too. Then each man returned to his own tent, meditating on the battle to come. It's coming. As dawn broke and darkness was dispelled, Manusher rose up in the midst of his forces, dressed in his armor, wearing a Rumi helmet. Rumi means Byzantium helmet. Because for Iranians, the Rumi people were either the Turks sometimes, and then the Byzantines, and then the Romans, actually. So there's when we say Rumi, we need to identify specifically what we're referring to, remember context, where and when to know why. In this case, it's possible he's saying, because of the time, either Seljuk, Turk, or Byzantium helmet. And grasping his sword, as one man, the troops thrust their lances into the air. They covered the face of the earth, their heads filled with fury, their foreheads with frowns. So basically, everyone's very angry and thirsty of vengeance, and absolutely everyone in the army is looking like this. The king skillfully deployed the flanks and center of the army, and the ground seemed to heave like a floundering ship on the sea, or seethed like the waters of the Nile. The war drums on the elephants' backs were beaten, more drums were beaten before them, and the noise of trumpets resounded as if the battle were to be a festive celebration because you have to bring music to the battlefield, don't you? Yeah, everyone took Iraj's death personally. That is such a good point for this big orbe. Absolutely. The army moved forward like a mountain and the two sides met in close combat. So, the clash took place. The plain became a sea of blood, as if red tulips had sprung up everywhere, and the elephant's legs glowed like pillars of coral. So here we having the elephant's legs, either they're being sliced and being cut so they're bleeding, or either they're smashing bodies and horses, and that's the reason the blood stained their skin and their armors. And sorry for the graphic, I like this kind of imagery. Sorry. And they are like pillars of coral. You know how the color of coral is, right? Very bright, very deep red / orange. Until night came and the sun disappeared. All the advantage was with Manusher because the world so loved him. So Manusher was the one to inherit the Far, which is the glory that legitimized kings to rule, was God's protection, is the heavenly glory bestowed upon just a selection of kings, and this Far gives you the right to rule. And basically is kind of like I'm not going to say that it's a protective shield, because Iraj also had the Far, and you can tell that it served for nothing, but in this case apparently the Far is guaranteeing Manusher's security or something like that. The Far is capricious, wimpy, bacha. So, does Iraj have the Far now? I've never read in the inherited it. Was he born with it? Yes, he was, because he was the one granted with the throne of the world. So, Manusher, yes. I mean, yeah, Manusher has the Far. If no, he would be dead by now. Like, Feridun knows he has it too. I don't think Iraj, yeah, sometimes you just don't say it that much, but it's implied. I mean, if it's on the power and is the right person, they have it. So Tur and Sam's heart seethed with fury. With fury? Run to the hills, dudes! You're being massacred. Take the bloody hint and run. Oh my god. And they plotted an ambush. So basically, Sam and Tur are in this world to plot. That's basically what they're for. I mean, they come from one plotting to the next, onto the next, onto the next, and they do not learn the bloody lesson that plotting, they don't do it right. There's something they must be doing wrong because it goes sideways. It backfires every single time. But hey, they're gonna plot an ambush. Why not? When half the day had passed, their hearts were filled with hatred, and they hatched one useless plot after the other. See, there's something you're doing wrong. They said, when night comes, we'll ambush them and fill the mountains and plains with their blood. Seriously now? This is the best? This is the best you could get? Jesús bendito. Tur set off with 100,000 troops in the darkness of the night. But as they neared the camp, they came on the Persian forces drawn up behind their banner, ready for war. So they were waiting for them. Of course they were. They had no choice but to attack, and the war cry went up from their midst. The sky was clouded by the cavalry's dust, and swords glittered in the dark like lightning. That's a powerful image. It was as if the air itself caught fire. Clashing and flashing like diamonds and burning the ground. I love this scenery. Yeah. The din of weapons deafened the fighters, and fire ascended into the heavens. So they just set the camp on fire. Okay, very smart if you are fighting inside the camp. Very smart move. What do I know about war strategy? Not a single thing. The king lifted his head from where he had been lying in wait, and Tur had no means to escape. He tugged at his reins and turned to flee as his soldiers' cries re-echoed around him. This is Tur. Tur is trying to run away. Manusher sped after him on horseback, I have to say. The cool thing about horseback warriors, amazing. As he closed on him, flung a spear at his back. The sword dropped from Tur's hand, and Manusher grasped him, lifting him from the saddle and hurling him into the ground. There and then he severed his head and left his body for the animals to devour. Then he returned to his own camp, his mind filled with the turnings of fate, which bring now prosperity and now defeat. Because remember, at the end of the day, fate is capricious. One day, it's like a wheel of karma. One day you're a king, one day you're a beggar. That just happened. But good job, Manusher. You just killed your father's killer, and you did it in the same manner. Did you see that? He just severed Tur's head. He just, beheaded Tur. Keep the head. He kept the head, and then he left the body to be devoured by lions, because that was such a big disrespect towards Iraj, that he never got a proper burial, because his body was separated from the head, and then the animals, thank you so much, Aaron, for your subscription, and then the animals devoured him. That was one other reason why Feridun was so devastated. So Manusher took revenge exactly as it was expected. So good job, Feridun. You got him from behind, you just flung it on the floor and just cut the head of the murderer. Good job, Manusher. I am very proud. And then Manusher wrote a letter to King Feridun telling him, we're assuming this is the next day or in 2 days or something, because basically the Iranians won, yay! And it was hi Karan, Karan Sakar, hello. Manusher wrote a letter to King Feridun telling him on how he battled and how the war had gone. Very well for the Iranians, I have to say. He began by invoking God, the Lord of righteousness, purity, and justice, who is man's only protection against hardship, and called down his blessings on Feridun, Lord of the crown and the mace, to whom belong justice, faith, and glory, from whose good fortune all righteousness comes, and from whose throne all splendor and beauty emanated. So basically here we have formulas that they used to address kings and princes, and it's a very good example to see how these correspondence just took place in ancient Iran. So just a moment. Things are going well. You see this formula addressing the ruler, the person who's going to receive your letter, invoke, but first things first, you invoke God, and just you say, or they said that all good emanates from God and he has a final answer to everything. Then you praise the ruler and you say that basically all what is positive and beautiful on earth emanates from said ruler, blah blah blah. And then as you go, that these formulas were established and standard, and people use that. If you work with Iranian correspondents from the Middle Ages, they don't worry, Nightingale, it was lovely seeing you here. So bye now. I'll see you on Thursday. Cool, see you there. And now after these formulas are standardized and everyone uses them, after that is when the letter comes in. He continued, and this is Feridun. This is Manusher speaking. I reached Turan successfully. Turan, the land where Tur was king, and we prepared our army for war. We fought 3 battles in 2 days, both at night and under the shining sun. They tried a night attack, but we were ready for them because I had heard that they were going to attempt district at a last resort. We waylaid them, and I saw to it that their fists closed on nothing but air. Good job, Manusher. As Tur retreated, I pursued him and flung a spear after him, which pierced his armor, and then, like the wind, I lifted him from his saddle. I hurled him to the ground as if he were a monster, and severed his head from his worthless body. I send you his head. Why would you do that? I send you his head as he once sent that of Prince Iraj in a golden casket, and now I shall deal with Shāh-nāmeh. So, hey, great-grandfather, here's a head. And this is me taking out everything that's important in it. So basically, what Manusher has done is just repay his great-grandfather. He he cannot repair what he's lost, because he cannot bring Irash from the dead. But by doing to Tur what he did to Irash, he's making sure that justice has prevailed, and in exactly the same manner, as a way to compensate Feridun for his grievance and his sorrow. It's not exactly the same. Again, we know that we cannot bring Irash back from the dead. But yeah, it's just a way of saying my vengeance is complete, and now we're going to deal with Shāh-nāmeh, which is the other brother, who didn't kill Irash, but definitely plotted against them. So we're going to see. Remember that vengeance is a big thing in the Shāh-nāmeh. He sent a swift messenger with the letter, and when the man arrived, his face was filled with shame, his eyes with tears, since he wondered how he could show the severed head of the king of China to the Persian king, because no matter how evil a son might be, or how terrible his crimes, a father's heart will be wrung by such a sight. But he boldly came before the king and set Tur's head down before him. Feridun called down blessings from the Lord of Justice, that is God, on Manusher. This just makes me sad, but as Seth said, that Feridun gets to see his boy one more time. This is so heartbreaking, because, Kiwi, yeah, the king is still Feridun, yeah. He's appointed Manusher as his successor, but at this point, Feridun's still king. And yeah, there's a lot going on in this scene, because there's a lot of mixed feelings. On the one hand, this person murdered your younger son, who you really loved, but yeah, at the end of the day, he was your son too. And I cannot imagine, but how hard must it be to see your son lose his way in such a manner and become this monster. Manusher said it. He called him a monster. That's exactly what he turned into by murdering his younger sibling and then attempting repeatedly to take over his father by brutal force and kill his nephew. And yeah, so Tur is not a good person, but still, I mean, Feridun rose that boy and gave him a name when he was, 25? But he was his kid still. Yeah. It was right to do, but still your child. My heart tears for Feridun. Feridun's just a person that suffers so much from the beginning of his life. And I love Feridun, alright? I'm the only member, but I am the team Feridun. Like the brutal brigade in Princess Bride, I am King Feridun's team. Alright, so news of the battle, moving on, and of the darkness that had obscured the moon reached Shāh-nāmeh. They're coming for you next, baby. There was a castle to the rear of his forces whose walls reached up into the blue heavens. Remember, Tur has China and the land of the Turks, and Shāh-nāmeh has the west. Sorry, I'm gonna expel my mind. Karen thought that if Shāh-nāmeh were to avoid battle, because I missed a part. There was a castle to the rear of his forces, whose walls reached up into the blue heavens, and he decided to retreat there, to see how events would unfold. So basically, Sam, like he did when he encountered the dragon, he runs away. He seeks for security, and Karen thought, remember the general, Karen thought that if Shāh-nāmeh were to avoid battle and reach this castle, it would be a refuge for him, as it was filled with all manner of wealth, and its granite walls rose out of the sea and reached up to the clouds, so that it could not be overflown even by the legendary Homa, the Homa bird. I'm talking, alright, the Homa bird is this mythological creature, a bird that we know very little about, but we can trace back to the Achaemenid Empire. And no, it's not the griffin-like creature that we can find in Persepolis as a capital. That is not the Homa bird. And you know why? Because the Homa bird was said to have no legs, because it never perched anywhere. It was constantly flying. That is exactly what the Homa bird did. So Karen decided to make all haste and cut him off before he could do so. So they're trying to stop Sam before he locks himself in this castle, because if he does, he's going to survive there for quite a long while, because, he is supplied enough. He hurried to King Manushed and said, "Your Majesty wishes, and will give the authority and men to the humblest of his soldiers," that's him, "I shall corner Salm, who can either fight us or attempt to flee. I shall need the royal banner and Tur seal ring, and with them I shall be able to take Salm's castle. I and the warrior Karshasp, in the darkness of the night, will deal with this matter, but see that you say nothing to anyone." So they're trying to trick the people of Salm. When the air turned the color of ebony, black, they bound the war drums on the elephants, and the warriors set off toward the ocean. Karen gave the command to Shirui and said, "I shall go in secret to the castle's commander, pretending to be a messenger. Sneaky you person. I'll show him Tur's seal, and as soon as I'm in the castle, I'll display the royal banner and draw my sword. You make for the castle, and my war cry will be the signal for you to attack. They're going to take over the castle by trickery." Interesting. The army, you make for the castle, and but all right. The army waited near the castle while Karen went forward and showed the castle's commander Tur's seal. Like, "Hello." He said, "I've come from Tur, who told me to give up all thoughts of comfort and to travel night and day until I reach this place, where I am to make common cause with you and take over the defense of the castle. If Manushed sends an army here with his banner, I'm to hold the castle and, if possible, destroy his forces." You little liar, Karen. Of course that's not what happened. When the castle's commander heard these words and saw Tur's seal ring, he believed that Ding Dong... Have you one more? Yeah, do you have a moment to talk about revenge? But yeah, the trick worked. They let him in. Yeah, he opened wide the castle gates, believing that he heard and unaware of any subterfuge. Yep. He trusted the stranger. Never trust strangers, Bacha. Never. And his carelessness cost him... carelessness... Oh, that's a difficult word for me. Carelessness... Oh, thank you, Mikael. Thank you so much for the ride. Oh, I need to change that one. And thank you so much for the ride. You are an Azizim. You are the best of the land. Wait, you're right to the best part. I am taking over. We are taking over a castle here. Oh, Sylvia Asher, thank you so much for the follow. So, what was I? We're taking over a castle. Oh yeah, we're taking over a castle. As one does. Hi, I don't know you, but pleased to be here. Oh, thank you. That is very sweet of you. My name is Plumas. What is this channel about? So, Bacha, I am going to continue reading. Bacha on the chat. Could you explain to our new friends here, what do we do here? You love my earrings. Thank you. I'm going to tell you a secret. They are from Primark and they cost me like ridiculous. It was like £1.50 or something. But they're very cute, aren't they? Yeah. That's the first time someone complimented. No, I'm lying. Benita's Oculus normally, she does compliment my earrings. So, yeah. Thank you so much. Ooh. Alright. Just a moment. Bacha, Streamline's like, oh my god, how many people? Shan Antigona, thank you so much for this follow. So, yeah, Bacha, could you tell what do we do in this channel? Oh, thank you, Frisbee Gorbe. You are the best, Azize man. Azize of my heart. Yeah, this is a history channel about Iran and Mesopotamia. Also, sorry, if you want to know more, the panels down there, you see like just down below this stream, there's a whole panel. I'm really sorry, Zeroffe. I keep hitting you. Why am I doing that? There's a lot of panels over here. Oh my god. Thank you so much, everyone who's followed the channel. I'm humbled. And yeah, we do history always in English. No, this is a bilingual channel. Thank you, the chat. Thank you, Zia. Oh, thank you. I think it's interesting too. And we're reading the Book of Kings. And as I said, we are in the middle of war. And the good guys, because, we go with the good guys, they just took over a castle. Jesus. All right. Goodness gracious, by the name of the holiest tea, thank you so much. Oh my god, thank you, Mika. Whoa, 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 whoa. Plumas, I bet it's because you have such a professional look now. No, I bet it was because Mikkel, who's a very dear friend, he just raided my channel. So thank you so much. Again, all the info about this channel, see? Oh, it's been a while since I didn't listen to something English with subtitles. It's gonna be funny to my ears. I wish I could put subtitles to myself, but I can't. There's a recap on the book we're reading here. Thank you so much, Aziza Delam. And yeah, what we do here is we do, where do you come from? The world. Actually, I come from the darkest pit on the darkest mountain, as I am a hellspawn. But nah, I actually come from Spain. I mean, yeah, I wish I had such an entertaining story. All right, what was I? Yeah, the castle. Sorry, my bad. Oh my god, thank you so much, Krispar Emmet. All right, I'm gonna try catch up on Krispar Emmet Ena 129. I'm forgetting someone for sure. Isis Garay, Ninin, Daniela. Oh my goodness, Adiela. I wish. Oh my god, thank you so much for the follows. Mika, I don't know if you're watching, but I owe you big. Oh, thank you so much. Look at all those people. Where do all these people come from? Oh my god, thank you so much. All right, where was I? The castle. We were taking over a castle. You preparing TOEFL? Well, you came to the best place, because here, indeed, I do speak English and I can sort out all your doubts. I'm lying. I am not qualified whatsoever to teach languages. But if listening to me reading, like Newcastle. No, I come from Spain. I come from the land of the holiest meal in the entire earth, that is paella. Yeah. Oh my god, thank you so much. Oh Jesus, me cago en la leche. Thank you so much for all the follows. It's been so easy to answer. I do come from there. I could come from Valencia, from La Terreta. But today we are reading English because, as I was saying, this channel is a bilingual channel. We do content in 2 languages. So if listening to me reading or talking in English helps you a bit, you're more than welcome to stay. And again, all the information and you know, all the streaming schedule and all the social media, there's just down there on the panels below. Yes, the castle. We were taking over a castle. Alright, yeah. So he trusted the stranger. Yeah, back to the war. Yes, we are back to the bloodshed. Bear with me. So, when the castle's commander, right, the army of the good guys has just tricked the castle keeper of the bad guys, and the castle commanders just believed he just believed the trickery, and he allowed Karen, which is the commander from Fereydun, he allowed him in, and that is going to cost him his castle and his life. As the day began to dawn, Karen unfurled the royal banner as bright as a full moon and uttered his war cry, signals to Shirui, which is his friends waiting for the signal to be heard, and his warriors. Shirui made for the castle gates, attacking the defenders and bestowing crowns of blood on them. How badass is that? I love it. I mean, I might be morbid, but you have to agree with me that that is a powerful image. You're bestowing crowns of blood on your enemies' heads. Wow. Yeah, just what? Oh my god, the genie from Aladdin just like he cannot believe himself. Yeah, I'm really happy too, genie. We're celebrating. Like here you have the tea, but have some tea. On the one side stood Karen, on the other side stood Shirui. Above, fire flashed from swords, beneath lay the waters of the sea. And by the time the sun attained the heaven summit, the castle was in an uproar and its commander was nowhere to be found. So yeah, they talk about the castle. Oh my god, the crowns of blood. Amazing. It was as if the castle itself had disappeared and not a ship was to be seen on the sea. Remember, this is a castle that is on the seashore. So that is the reason it's such a good defensive point, because you cannot attack it from one side unless you have a fleet. These people do not have a fleet. Iran is a land of land. But they do have entries of the sea, so... Where am I? All that was visible was smoke rising up to the clouds. Fire fled, and wind rose. The cries of prisoners suing for a quarter could be heard, and as the sun went down to the sky, the castle was indistinguishable from the surrounded plain. So they just broke down the castle, basically. Thank you so much for the follow. Brutal. I know. Brutal and badass. I love it. 12,000 of the enemy were killed, and pitch black smoke billowed up from the fire. The whole surface of the sea, as black as tar. Amazing. And the plain was a river of blood. Oh. Karen came to Manushed and told him of the battle he had fought. So hey, yo. I clocked a grammatical error on your rules. Thank you. Could you tell me though, so we can fix it? Absolutely. Just leave it over there on the chat, and I will have a proper look afterwards. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you to help me. Thank you for the help. Oh, Broly, like a legendary warrior. I feel flattered. You forgot a full stop. Goodness gracious, did I? Heaven may forgive me for that. Where did I forget a full stop? I'm gonna have nightmares for that. My OCD is not happy about this. Where did I forget a full stop? Jesus. Fourth rule? I'm just heading towards that, like right now. Stop the rules. There's only 3 though. Are you messing with me? I'm so easy to mess with, so. I can't see it. Did I just make a fool of myself? Entirely didn't I? Oh, cannot see it, so. You played with my feelings, and you implied that I forgot a full stop. That is so cruel. Why would you do that to anyone on this planet? I still cannot see it. I mean, I'm literally looking at it right now, and still cannot see it. So. Oh, you mean the rules of my chat? The one that you click on before posting? But Ollie, don't leave me in the silence of indecisiveness. We will never find out, but sure. That is the actual truth. We will never find out. So, oh yeah, Manusher came to, might be good to send a message to her later. Yeah, maybe. Because my attention span is that of a fruit mosquito. So yeah. What's life without mystery though? You have a point there, Kiwi. You sure have a point. Bye, Antigona. Thank you for popping by. Very nice to see you. And, alright. So Manusher came to, Karen came to Manusher and told him of the battle he had fought. And Manusher congratulated him, saying, "May you live forever as lord of your horse, saddle, and mace." Good job, you. Good job, Karen. As soon as you left me, another army appeared. I've heard that it's led by the evil champion, Kakui, a fearsome demon from Desh Hook Gang, a grandson of Zahog. Zahog, don't we miss Zahog? Don't you miss the Demon King? Because I sure miss him, like every day of my life. I know, dun dun dun. He attacked with 100,000 men and cavalry and killed some of my lion warriors. He's so sweet. Like Manusher addresses his army always like lions because they're brave, and now San thinks of fighting because this ally of his has arrived. I haven't faced him on the battlefield yet, but when he attacks, I shall know what to make of him. So Manusher wants blood, like he wants just a lot of blood. So Karen replied, "My prince, who can oppose to you in battle?" See, they address Manusher as prince because the king is still Fereydun. So, yeah. A leopard's skin will split with terror at the thought of it. Amazing. I love this book so much. Who is this Kakui? What is he? The wisdom of my heart, the purity of my mind will fashion a scheme to deal with him. And no one like him will set out against us from Deshut, which is a place, again, in Central Asia, ever again. Then the blare of trumpets and bugles, the cavalry's cries, and the din of war drums were heard in the camp. The earth turned the colour of pitch, the ground that of ebony. Everything's black. How do these people see in the dark? How do they? It was as if diamonds were alive, like tongues of flame flickering in the darkness. Cries from the give and take of combat sounded on all sides, and the air was filled with arrows as feathers, like a vulture's maw. Aren't you enjoying this? I love these parts so much. Blood congealed on the warriors' hands as they gripped their swords, dripping down from the darkened blades. The earth seemed about to heave, like a cresting sea, when Kakui sprang forward, yelling his war cry and making straight for Manusher like a demon. So he's just going for him. He's going for Manusher's head, but Manusher is waiting for him. Kakui thrust a spear at Manusher's body. The king's helmet shuddered as the point passed through his armor and exposed his flesh. So he's not hurt, yet he's exposed. But Manusher stroked at Kakui's neck with his sword and split his breastplate. For half the day, these two blood-soaked men fought until the sun sank in the sky. Thank you, Dog and Pista, for the follow. I'm enjoying this, like you have no idea. They attacked like leopards, and their blood was mixed with the dust, so that the plain and mountainside were drowned in blood beyond all measure. Basically, the whole earth is covered in blood because this is a legendary battle, Bacha. This is basically a battle between good and evil. This is where the destiny of the world is being decided, and Manusher is about to win. That means light and purity and righteousness are about to take back what once was taken from them. Irash, yes, all this fuss about Irash is not just about Irash, it's about the throne of the world, it's about the legitimization of the king, and this serves as an example. Back in the day, in 11th century Iran, these served as an example. These brutal battle scenes would enhance the hearts of those who were dedicated to the military job, and every person who read that, their hearts possibly would shrunk in fear and in just disgust, because they were thinking of how powerful the army of Iran was. People who listened to this were projecting themselves into these amazing characters, saying, see, I'm gonna fight like that, I'm gonna defend what's right like that. Amazing. The ancestors were mortal enemies, and they're continuing the foot. Exactly, because that is exactly what the Shāh-nāmeh is about. Goodness gracious. Now Manusher was weary of battle, but he urged his horse forward on horseback, because we love horses here. He urged his horse forward with his thighs and grasped Kakui by the belt, lifting the mammoth warrior from his saddle. How strong is Manusher? This is the second person that he leaves from the saddle. And hurled him down on the warm ground. So he's killing him exactly the same way he killed Tur. He thrust his sword into Kakui's body and stole the life of this headstrong Arab, whose mother had borne him for this evil day, was dispersed on the wind. So no more Kakui. Kakui now is dead. How far? Alright. Ooh, I've been reading for quite a while, haven't I? Alright, there's like 3 pages left. Not really, like 2 pages and a half. So do you want me to continue so we can close this cycle and start with the next one? His signature mode, throwing people on horses. Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna continue because it doesn't make much sense to split this for like, it's very little what we have now. Continue, please. Let's end the war. Yes, the war ends today. Yes, that's the spirit I like. So, Salm, who, by the way, he's still alive. Salm's head was emptied of all thoughts of vengeance, and he and his men fled towards the castle. So, Sam is terrified to the very core of his bones. He's terrified of Manusher, and he's trying to run away and seek refuge in this castle. But what he doesn't know is that this castle is just destroyed entirely by the army of Manusher. Manusher's army came after them, but the way was so clogged with dead and wounded warriors that they had a hard time going forward. Graphic. Mounted on his white charger, the young king was filled with rage. The young king, we're talking here about Manusher, is like another way of saying prince, not just king. He cast off his horse's barding to make better speed and urged his mount into the retreating army dust. How is his horse still white? I reckon the same. Possibly the steed is now blood-colored, like everything else in the land. Running like a coward like he did against Feridoon's dragon form. Exactly. Because some things never change, do they? He closed on the king of the west and cried out. Manusher is going to cry to his uncle. Oh, I love this so much. You unjust wretch who killed your brother. You desired his crown. That crown has come to you. Listen to me. Manusher is badass. How bold is this kid? He's like 20 or something. Amazing. So yeah, you wanted the crown. Here it's come to you. My God, this is amazing. I brought your crown for you. I brought your throne. The splendid tree you planted then has grown. Wait for our sovereign Feridoon's reward. Don't try to flee from me, my lord. The tree you planted has borne fruit. You'll see its fruits served up to you immediately. You nurtured them. You spurned the silk that made the thread by which your wretched lives betrayed. Like, boof, mama. As he shouted, he rode forward, drawing level with Sam, and struck at his neck with his sword, so that Sam's body was split in two. He gave orders that the head be spitted on a spear and then raised into the clouds. I need tea. No book miss. Amazing. I'm really sorry. I mean, you've been with me long enough. You know, when I'm lacking words in English, I just turn to Spanish because there's some things I cannot say, but in my mother tongue. Take it, Sam. You have a Jamshid treatment. Not exactly. Jamshid was perfectly split in two halves. This one split in the sense that they cut the head and then they split the body. Sam's army was astonished at the strength of his arm and dispersed like a flock without a shepherd, wandering aimlessly in groups in the plains, mountains, and caves. One of their number was a man of some eloquence, and they asked him to go to Manusher and say, "We are your subjects, and do not tread on the earth, but at your command." So basically, the army, now they lost their king, they want to make sure they're not gonna die by the hand of Manusher, who just killed basically everyone that stood in his way in a heartbeat. So they wanted, some of us owned flocks and some farms and houses, and we were forced to join these armies. Basically, these people were forced to go against Feridoon, but they want to go back home and, you know, live a normal life. Now we are all the king's slaves, and our hearts and souls are filled with love for him. If he wishes to fight against us and spill our blood, we lack the strength to oppose him. We lay our innocent heads before the king at his mercy. He can do whatever he wishes with us, since he is the Lord of our sinless souls. The wise man repeated all these, and Manusher listened in astonishment. His answer was, "I trample on all unjust desires and renounce whatever is from Ahriman and not from God. Leave my side, and my evil afflict all demons. Whether you are my enemies or my allies and well-wishers, the Lord of Victory has given me authority over you, and the innocent are distinguished from the evildoers. Today is a day of justice. Injustice is no more, and the heads of your commanders are safe. Follow the ways you love, and cast away your weapons. A herald cried from the royal pavilion, "Great champions whose thoughts are noble, from now on do not spill blood thoughtlessly, since those who are tyrannical suffer an evil fate." So what's happened here? The enemy warriors touch their heads to the ground. That is a way of bowing. That is a way of showing respect towards Manusher, who has spared the life of absolutely everyone, because that's what the poem is showing to us. That Manusher is a brutal warrior, but he is kind and compassionate. He knows how to treat people respectfully and justly. So, yeah. And so that was the last war in the whole book. Yay! No! If only. This is the first, well, not the first one. We'll have many wars, but not so detailed. The enemy warrior and then took their weapons, armors, helmets, barding, maces, and Indian swords to Pashang's son, heaping them before him like a mountain. So they are just given the swords and all the weaponry to Manusher. Thank you so much for the follow. Then Manusher dispatched a messenger bearing the head of the king of the west. So again, we're bringing the head to our great-grandfather, who's Feridun. He wrote a letter to his grandfather describing his battles and the stratagems he had used. He began with praise of the Creator, from whom come victory and ability, beneath whose command all good and evil occur, who warranted all oaths, calling down his blessings on wise Feridun. See, the same formulas are going to be repeated again because this corresponds to the letter. Feridun, the king of earth, destroyer of the plots of the wicked, possessed of knowledge and the divine Far. He continued, "By the king's strength, I have destroyed the plots of those two sorcerers." Remember, sorcery is not exactly well seen in the Shāh-nāmeh. It really depends who practices it. In this case, bad people are not allowed to practice sorcery. We have a video on magic in medieval Iran, should you be interested. It must be somewhere in this channel. I think it was in season 1, or in this season 2. I cannot remember. Bear with, I have a lot of things on my mind right now. I have cut off their heads and purified the land with my sword steel. I shall come after this letter like the wind and recount all that has happened. He's gonna reunite it with his great-grandfather. This is amazing. He ordered the warrior Shirui to gather the war booty into one place, load it onto elephants, and take all of it to the king. Then, do you want the link of the video of magic? Yeah, of course. If you can post it and people can watch it, then for sure. Thank you, Azizam. He had the brass and drums and trumpets sounded and led his army from the seashore by the Chinese fortress to the court of Feridun. Manusher is coming back home and coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home. Like, yeah, I know my kingdom awaits. Yes, it is awaiting for you. As he approached Tamisheh, his grandfather longed to see him. The blare of brass trumpets rang out, and the army stood in readiness. Elephants were loaded with turquoise thrones and golden holders draped with Chinese brocade, banners, and fine stuff, so that the world glittered with scarlet, gold, and purple. Like a moving black cloud, the army marched from the Sea of Gilan to Sari. Oh, thank you, Naseros, thank you so much. And thank you, Kiwi. Their saddles, shields, and belts were of gold, the stirrups of silver, so they went forward with elephants and treasure to greet the young prince. Men from Gilan followed the army. They were like lions, with golden torques and hair as black as musk. In front of the king, there were lions and elephants, followed by his warriors. When Feridun's banner appeared, Manusher's army forms its ranks. The prince dismounted like a young sapling that has borne new fruit, kissed the ground, and made his obeisance to the royal crown, throne, and seal ring. Feridun ordered him to mount his horse, kissed him, and fondled his face with his hand. This is so pretty! Oh. Grandparents are one of the most important things in one's life, if you ask me. Oh, if you have grandparents, love them, do love them. Oh, this is so pretty. Then Feridun turned his face to the skies and said, "Great Lord of Justice, You have said, I am the just Lord, the succor of those who are oppressed. You have dispensed justice and aided me, bestowing me this crown and the imperial seal ring. Then he gave commands that Manusher sit on the throne and wear the crown. Shirui brought the captured wealth of the king's court, and Fereydun ordered that it be distributed to the soldiers. So now we have it, the crowning Manusher. Manusher is going to be king. Having done this, he bowed to fate's decree. The leaf was withered on the royal tree. This is the moment we say goodbye to Fereydun, Bacha. Oh my god, this is so moving. I didn't remember it was this soon. But yeah, I mean, all of you who accompanied Fereydun from the moment of his birth, this is the moment, Fereydun. Remember, the kings in this mythical era, they can choose whether they pass or they stay alive. And Fereydun knows his doings are finished. And now it's time for Manusher to take the throne over and to rule over the world. So he's going to leave. Fereydun's leaving. Oh. Alright, sorry, forgive me if I'm emotional. Oh. Thank you for the follow, Laura. Miral, thank you so much for the follow. So, Fereydun lived his life in mourning. Ceaseless tears and constant grief consumed his final years. Weeping, the great king said, "My heart's delight, my sons have turned my day to endless night. My sons slain wretchedly before my eyes, since all my plans were evil and unwise. And so, heartbroken, weeping for the past, he lived tormented till death came at last. O world, from end to end, unreal, untrue, no wise man can live happily in you. But blessed is he whose good deeds brought him fame. Monarch or slave, he leaves a lasting name." Goodbye, Fereydun. You shall be remembered. And this is where we are going to stop our reading. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I know this was long. Thank you for bearing with. If you had to leave at some point, if you just like, don't worry, just join halfway. Remember, this is going to be up on the channel since right now. It's going to be up because we save all our live streams. And yeah, I mean, we did it! Manusher avenged his father, well, actually his grandfather, and Fereydun's gone. Oh, bye Fereydun. Yes, Fereydun is definitely one of my favorite characters. Oh, now we have it. And cycle, you see, we have closed a cycle because this is a book on dynasties and kings. So it's called the Shāh-nāmeh, the Book of Kings. So when one king passes away, the next comes, and the new cycle is started, and we are very close to start the new section of the Shāh-nāmeh, which is the hero section, the heroic era. Not just yet, but yeah, I am so happy. It's like that. Thank you for everyone who's followed the channel. I hope you've enjoyed this light reading. If you just came across this channel, salam. Khosh Omadid and welcome. My name is Plumas and this is Las Plumas de Simur, and here we talk about many different things. We talk about mythology, literature, magic. We talk about the Mongols and horses, quite a lot by the way. Not as much as I would like to. And we all base our knowledge in two giant pillars, Iran and Mesopotamia. You can catch me on my social media, Twitter and Instagram, and if you want, do I read poetry sometimes? Not just yet. I think poetry is a difficult one, although this one was written in verse. So, no. I might consider it, though. Maybe we can read something from Rumi that I have here. I don't know. You tell me about it. Thank you so much. If you've seen this beautiful overlay, was thanks to Chi Nguyen, the artist I'm working with, and also my patrons. Thank you so much to my patrons, my family of patrons. You can consider supporting us and supporting the project on Patreon/Las Plumas de Seymour. There's only one Seymour on Patreon, and as far as I'm aware, that is still me. Again, all the information and all the links are just down below in the panels. You can find the links on social media too. And just thank you so much to everyone who's followed. We are a lot of new people. Thank you, Mikel, for that ride. I'm gonna call him later. You should do a half-face reading for people one day. Maybe do some fortune telling for people in the chat. Ooh, am I allowed to do that though? Interesting. We've talked about fortune telling, of course, and we're going to talk more about astronomy and astrology in medieval Iran. But I might consider it. If you're my patron, you know you can suggest topics for the coming streams. So yeah, this is everything I had to say. Thank you so much, Ruaneska. Thank you so much for the follow. And yeah, thank you and welcome to all the new people here. It is my biggest pleasure to have you. And yeah. Just a quick recap, if you are also interested in the live streams in Spanish, those happen on Thursdays and on Sundays. Regular streamings are on, just wait, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try and talk about this with a proper with a proper construct of what I'm saying. Just give me a wee minute. Aha. Again, as I was saying, 1 minute. Wait. I lost it. I know I didn't. I take it back. Two. Can't I just Can I just I'm trying my best to do this. Oh, alright, I see what the problem is. Just give me a wee minute. Yeah, that looks good enough, isn't it? Nah, a little bit. My OCD is kicking again. Alright, there we go. Right, so this is the streaming schedule. Streaming in English happens twice a week, and streaming in Spanish happens twice a week. So yeah, if you want to take note of that, on when am I going live next, on Monday and on Saturday we are speaking English, and on Thursday and on Sunday we are speaking in Spanish. You're more than welcome to join both streams, none of them one per week. So yeah, this is just in case you were curious, this is where the magic, where is here, where the magic happens. When the magic happens, enjoy here. So yeah, in case you want to take note of that. And what else I was talking about? I think that's basically it from myself, actually. Thank you so much to all people who's followed the channel, and thank you so much to the people who subscribe to the channel. You help me greatly achieve things like that. I mean, Zerafe and all the technicalities. Well, not exactly. Zerafe was a present, but all the technical aspect of this stream and this beautiful overlay, they are your doing, and I couldn't be here if it wasn't because of you. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that. And I think that's all from me. I shall see you soon. Either on Thursday if you want to come to the Spanish live stream. We're gonna read the Book of Kings 2, and been amazing. Love the new overlay. Thank you so much. I'm so happy with it. So we will see each other either on Thursday if you want to come. If you want to have a tea with me on Saturday in English, you can of course come. And you can also come to the live stream on Sunday. That is when we have tea, but we have to set off. I'm really sorry, Aziz. ببخشید. I'm really sorry for that. So yeah. that's all for me from now. Thank you again to, I'm very happy, right? I'm just can't saying thank you. I'm very grateful. I appreciate all you're doing. And yeah, but child, remember that until we see each other next time, create, explore, and have tons of fun. I shall see you here very soon. Khodafez. Have a lovely week.